Channel viewers, and welcome to another episode of Charity Channel. A couple of weeks ago I announced that I'd sprained my ankle, thus far immobilising me in my room, but for the past 2 weeks I have been recuperating, and good news, I have full use of my ankle again! Anyway, on a more serious note, a couple of weeks ago when I posted that I sprained my ankle, I was asked to give a how-to video on how I deal with sprained ankles, you know, what I wear, what type of shoes I choose to wear, you know, what I do to generally heal during my immobilisation. So this week I decided to do a how-to video on some tips and tricks of, tips and tricks of how to deal with a sprained ankle through my personal experience. A major sprain usually takes 6 weeks or longer to heal over. It can sometimes cause permanent damage. In my case, I've only ever had mild sprains on my wrists and my ankles. I have had one major sprain on my right ankle, never on my left though, which is a little bit strange. But unfortunately, because I've had multiple sprains, even though they're mild, it has left me with permanent muscle damage, which means I do have to be careful when lifting heavy things in case it strains my wrists too much. But on a more positive note, here are my tips and tricks on how to help with your sprained wrists and ankles. Some of these tips and tricks are applicable to both, some of them are just applicable to the ankle, but I hope you enjoy them nonetheless. Full disclosure, these tips and tricks are not doctor approved, they are just ways of dealing with a sprained wrist or ankle that I found useful over my experience with having sprained wrists and ankles. I claim absolutely no responsibility if you try any of these and they go wrong. Again, these are just tips and tricks from my own personal experience.
The bandage that I use is a cohesive support bandage specifically designed for supporting wrists and ankles, and I like to use it because it sticks to itself, which makes it a lot easier when wrapping it around your ankle or your wrist, so it's not so fiddly. You just start by going around the ankle, unrolling it as you go, and you go around the ankle twice, and then you move on and you just go around the arch of the foot, making sure you pull it nice and firmly. But the key thing about this is not to pull it too tight, otherwise you'll cut off the blood circulation in your foot. And when you come to the end of your roll of bandage, you stick it like that. No need for clips or safety pins or anything like that. You can just roll your sock up over the top of it and neatly hide it. You can wear whatever you like or whatever makes you feel comfortable on your feet when you're resting it, but I generally like to wear thick woolly socks because it just gives that extra added bit of support to the foot and also makes your feet feel nice and snug. In terms of footwear, I like to wear boots because they're that much roomier, allowing me to wear fluffy socks for additional support. Or I like to wear sports trainers because they will give additional support in the thick sole they have. Don't wear flat shoes or pumps because they give absolutely no support around the ankle. And heels are off limits. You don't want to sprain your ankle twice. When it comes to strapping on an ice pack, you can use a medical ice pack, which you can usually pick up in your local pharmacy, but your usual bag of fleece will do just fine. What I like to do is to take a normal plastic bag, like this, take a few keys, put them in my hand, put them in the plastic bag. And you just keep doing this until you're happy with the amount in there. Then, once you've got the right amount in, seal the bag at the top giving it a firm press, because these peas are, or whatever you're going to use, like ice cubes, are going to eventually melt, and you don't want water leaking out of this. It's not very nice to take this off and find you've got a wet sock. So, once you've got that sorted, so it's important to use a tea towel whenever you're putting a cold pack against your skin, because if you don't use one, you'll end up getting what is known as an ice burn, which is not very nice on your skin, and anybody who's done the salt and ice challenge will know what I'm talking about. So you generally just slip it between the layers of the cloth and put it directly over the swelling, and wrap it round like this, so that has a nice, so it's nice and firm against the ankle. I then like to take a couple of rubber bands, slip them over just to hold it in place. You can usually leave it there for around about 2 hours and then take it off again, and I generally like to do this 3 times a day, so that it gives the maximum amount of cold I can take. If you do it any more than that, you might end up with a stiff ankle all day, because you've got to remember that it is pressing against muscles and that will stiffen your leg.
And my final piece of advice for you today is that when you have a sprained ankle, you have to elevate it for as long as you possibly can. You could usually do this while you have an ice pack strapped to it, but I sometimes find that walking around in it for around about 10 minutes every day can strengthen the muscle and actually sometimes help it heal faster. Otherwise you just end up with a very stiff ankle all day. So it helps you in comfort as well as strengthening your muscles in your ankle. Or if you're using your wrists, just rotate it around about 10 times. It might seem like a very small thing, but it will actually help speed up the healing process. Anyway, that was my tips and tricks on how to deal with a sprained wrist or ankle. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.
Bye bye bye.